Hello, Bambaji here with another Sun transit. And today we have a gate change, of course, so we're moving out of the gate of opinions, which is gate 17, and we're moving into the gate of control, which is actually called the gate of the hunter or the huntress. So this is a gate in the ego center, as you can see here. And its biological correspondence is actually to the heart muscle itself. And so that tells us that it really is crucial that this gate operates correctly in order for our hearts to be healthy. It's an interesting gate, this one. If you have this gate in your design, then it really demands that you have control over things in your life. It could be where you live or where you work, what you eat, what you wear. All of these things are really important to you. So maybe working in a job where you have to wear a uniform or something like that might not really be very good for you. And certainly kids at school having to wear a uniform, that can grate a little bit. But this is a gate that does really well working alone. They don't like to have a boss looking over their shoulder, telling them what to do, telling them how they shouldn't have done what they've just done, that kind of thing. It doesn't, really go well. And maybe, as you can imagine, it's part of a manifestor gate. So there can be an energy of, not part, manifestor channel. So there can be an energy of anger if there's an out of alignment, or if the manifestor doesn't like to be interrupted when they're manifesting. So this kind of thing, when you've got a boss or you've got a teacher or you've got someone telling you what to do, can be really difficult energy to be able to sort of not control exactly, but control the control, but to have some sort of awareness around, I suppose. So the energy that the sun is bringing us for the next 5.5 days is this. It's a gate that's in the quarter of initiation still. As you can see, we're still working our way around the quarter of initiation. And if it had a voice, it's not a throat gate, but if it had a voice, it would be I control. If it is in a situation where it is not in control, where its power cannot be fully realized, then it can really suffer, because to be in control is its job. So if somebody with gate 21 doesn't have access to the throat, if they don't have that 45 at the other end of the channel, it can be really uncomfortable for them, because there's that sense of, what use is it to have all of this power to control things if I can't express it, if I can't communicate it or manifest it somehow? Now, manifest a channel, remember. Having a 45 to hook up with, if you don't have the whole channel yourself, this can also be difficult. We have a thing in human design where you have electromagnetics, and that's where you have one gate in the channel and somebody else has the other gate at the other end of the channel, and you meet together and you make the whole channel. This is called an electromagnetic. So it's really worth having a look at people in your life, or people you spend a lot of time with, if you've got this 21, and maybe while we're through this transit as well, and to see who you are making that electromagnetic with, because you've got the gate of control here meeting the king in gate 45, or the ruler in gate 45. Neither side really wants to be told what to do. Neither side wants to give up the power that they hold, because both of these gates, this whole channel, very powerful. Can be a difficult electromagnetic to have, and knowing about the electromagnetic can be really helpful. It doesn't necessarily prevent fireworks or discomfort from arising, but it can explain the dynamic. It can really put things into a context or a frame where they're more understandable. And then that gives you something to play with. You can get out of the aura of the person who's got that other gate. You can just take a breather, and you don't have to get caught up into the conditioning field of it all. Do you remember over the gate 17, there was a headline, an overall headline that said, the ancient law that those who wish to rule must know how to serve. So think about gate 21, okay? So it's harmonic, the ruler at the other end, it does. Really, the whole controlling thing is quite an interesting dynamic here, because we're being told that the controlling force is necessary in order to serve the tribe. That's the sort of the essence of what we're getting through here. In traveling around the mandala as we are through this journey through the sun transits, we can really start to see the story that's coming out, and it's a conditioning field. So it's the field that's conditioning our lives and our life experience. And we can see that there is something bigger out there, that's these energies that are coming in. It's not by accident. We are following a program. So we're coming out of the gate of opinions. There's been some kind of a resolution. The collective has had an opinion and it's been checked and it's logical. And yes, good. It's been formed through the opinions of other people, maybe. And then finally, the collective has an opinion they can live with. And they are going to throw it over the wall to the tribe through gate 21. And gate 21 announces my way or the highway. Because it knows that there's a certain way things have to be done in order for them to work. We're not in the collective anymore. The collective talks about things and it tests them and it works them out together. And then they go and have a pizza and a glass of wine and talk about it. This is tribal. And in the tribe, the energy is much more that you are told what to do by these people who are in the hierarchy of the tribe, who know what's best for the tribe. And they do have the best interests of the tribe at heart, generally. Control, I know, but generally, this is what they want in their, I could say, the highest expression, of course, because there's always the or not. There will be people who actually are not interested in the tribe at all, but they just see all the stuff. But both sides, all valid. So moving from logical opinions into the gate of control, this is where the 21st gate can actually begin to educate its tribe with these logical formulas. And education provides stability, and it actually provides a fuel for focus. It's essential that the tribe are educated. And the 21 needs to be educated itself too, because of the powerful force that they embody. They need the capacity to be able to express their role of being in control clearly. Otherwise, they will not be understood. And then there's the possibility for resentment, and they'll be resisted every turn they make. And this is not a gate that likes to be challenged, you can imagine. It's a gate that often creates problems because, well, it's the only gate in the whole body graph that is designed to be controlling. And it's backed up by the ego, which is a powerful force. And it's designed to be the controlling force in order to serve and protect the tribe. These things are really important. These keynotes, the service of the 21 to the tribe, the protection that is necessary for the tribe. These are all the energies that they're bringing to it. The I Ching tells us that this gate is justified in its use of power, but it has to be correct, because otherwise you're just a bully. So the 21 is here to serve the tribe. It is here to establish for the tribe what is viable, what works, and when it's going to work. It's here to make sure the community has what it needs, that there is food, there is shelter, that these needs are taken care of. And it wants to make sure that there's a reward for those efforts too. This is all part of the ego thing. Society has to work, but it also needs its leisure time. It's a balance that's here. So in other words, it's here to look after the needs of humanity as they live together in this material plane. Share screen. So, as with the previous Earth gates, we remain in the splenic center. The sun here is grounded in the Earth gate of 48, which is called the well, and it's the gate of depth. So, as with the previous Earth gate, we remain in the splenic center. Get my words the right way around. And we're still in logic circuitry. And it's a projector gate in a projector channel, which tells us there needs to be some kind of recognition of what patterns are viable and are worth being concentrated on, and then we can get some real depth with them. We can really dig into them. This is the gate of the well, and it's a resource. It's a bottomless pool of information that the logic circuit has been through and has tested again and again. The splenic center is an awareness center, you might remember, and the information that is stored in the well is vital information in terms of the pattern, in terms of its viability for the collective going into the future in a safe and secure way. Having the correct foundation and the right depth of knowledge supports the opinions that have now made their way into gate of control, to gate 21. Giving gate 21 a solid ground from which to operate from. I could control this because I had the depth of knowledge. I have a deep well of resources to tap into. So you can see how these work together and how the 48 is supporting and grounding the force of the 21. Am I sharing still? Hold on a minute. I've got a bit confused here. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Try and find my way back again. Okay. I'm going to share again. It might be a third line day when I'm doing this. We always blame everything on a third line day, huh? Okay, so what I wanted to show you, I showed you that one, didn't I? Okay, so now I want to show you this one and tell you about that. So the end of the channel to the 21 is the 45. And this is the top of the tribal tree, if you like. This is as the hierarchy of the tribe goes, this is the ruler. This is the clan chief or the matriarch, And it's together, the 45-21 is called the channel of materialism, or it's the money line. Because the tribe is very materialistic. It's the third line entity in a way, that is third line planet that we live on, which is all about resources, materialism. There's a big responsibility here, and that is to serve the tribe. It's to establish what is viable, what works, and to ensure that the tribe is healthy. I got a blackbird sitting on my windowsill. It's been sitting there for a few minutes. I just have to feed it because it's really cold out there today. Excuse me. Okay, come on. Come on. Here you go. Very disconcerting trying to record something when you've got this little eye staring at you through the window. Sorry about that. Nature intrudes. Okay, so where was I? Gate 45 and the channel of materialism, and the channel, it's the money line, yeah. So money being one of the main resources that we use on this planet to make sure that we're safe and secure. But money is energy, so it applies to anything really when we're talking about energy. And there's the responsibility here in this channel to look after the tribe and to make sure that it has got exactly what it needs. And one of the things it needs, which we don't often consider when we think about food and shelter and clothing and so on, but what is really important to keep the tribe healthy and to keep them viable is education. Good education, and a good ruler will know this. And both 45 and 21 are very aware of this need to educate their tribe. It keeps them ahead of the game as much as anything else, because if you don't educate your children, then the tribe will ultimately fail. It will stop being competitive because it doesn't know how to be in the marketplace, or it doesn't know how to be in society and standing up there ahead of its game. Remember, there is that competitive nature to anything that comes off the ego. So this is part of that, And nature dictates that humanity grows through education. So education is a major theme in this 2145. And the ruler, the 45 at the end of the channel there, if they cannot educate their people, they will never maintain their loyalty. If they cannot educate their people, they will never raise the standard of living for their society. So education is really absolutely essential. Stop sharing this time. I think that's the right way around to do it. You have to go back again. 21, poor old 21. It can be a deeply misunderstood hexagram in many ways. You know, as soon as you hear the word control, then there's that whole word prejudice that slips in. But the 21 has the right to be in control. You know, truly, it is designed for the job. It has a justified and proper right to be in control, and it has to be trusted and allowed to do its job of serving the tribe. You know, because that's what it's all about. Really, it's not supposed to be, I could say a bit, yeah, well, I'm going to say it anyway. It's not supposed to be about personal power. It's not supposed to be control for the sake of control. It's an ego that will serve its tribe as long as it's recognized in its power and as long as it operates correctly. Then it will serve its tribe. It's why it's here. And it brings us back again, really, to our type, strategy, and authority. Because when you've got just the gate 21, any of the types can have that. The whole channel, it's a bit different. You're either going to be a manifestor or a manifesting generator with the whole channel. And so because of the channel it's in, that gives us a hint of to how this should behave. It's about informing. It's not asking, and it's not inviting. This is an informing energy that comes through with the 21. Imagine what it must be like to have this gate as a child. You know, that it's a really tricky gate for a child to navigate. And so you see how important education is again, how it comes in. Human design is for children. I mean, this is what Ra always said. You know, the adults are already so conditioned, it's going to take us the rest of our lives to decondition. But if we can start treating our children through their design, then a lot of that conditioning, they just won't be subject to it, you know. So a child with gate 21 having the awareness around what that means, giving them small experiences of control and teaching them how to be correct according to their type, strategy, and authority. You know, but they can be in control maybe of what they wear, at least when they're not at school, if they have to wear a uniform at school. But they can have little control over maybe what they eat or when they eat or how they arrange their room. Little things that give them the flavor of it. And of course, another part of the education for them has to be understanding the mechanics of control and the responsibility that comes along with having a gate like this, especially if this is your personality sun. And it's really something to consider that every baby born while this is our transit, so the next 5.5 days, every child born on this planet, the whole planet, will have gate 21 as their lead energy. And that's really, wow. I mean, I knew that before because it's, you know, it's part of the knowledge of human design, but it's like when you really come into focus with it, it's like, wow, really, 5.5 days we're going to have every child born on this planet. I don't know how many that is, but it's more than 3. They're all going to have the gate of control. So let's educate them to know how to use that correctly and how to be comfortable with it and in their place. So this is gate 21. We have 5.5 days to explore its gifts and its challenges. Do you have gate 21 in your own design? If you do, and you're a projector, then you still might need to be recognized and invited before you're taking control and informing others what you're going to do. Because the channel, the nature of the channel and the energy that's in the channel, it doesn't take over from what you've got as your overall type, strategy, and authority. It needs to inform, but it also has to have that invitation dynamic. You know, it's that big play of how all of these things work together. If you're a generator, are you responding to control and to informing people that you're going to take control of something? Or maybe as a manifestor, you need to really inform others, hey, I'm going to take control of this situation. or you are informed that this is a situation that, you know, people would really appreciate some control in from you. Rearrange the words so that they make more sense. Because for each scenario here, you know, we've got the people asking, the people inviting, the people informing. What it always comes down to, always, is strategy and authority. Well, so I will leave you with that. And thank you for watching. We go into gate 51 next time. That's the gate of shock. So we'll go into it gently over the next 5.5 days, exploring line by line. I'm doing that on my YouTube channel. So you can always join there. And if you want to go more deeply and see how the actual, how the gate plays out over the course of its time here in the transit, you could join me there. Otherwise, I will see you again soon. Okay, thank you for watching. Take care.